Hi, this is Jeff Borden, Chief Intelligence Officer at Treadstone 71. It's a Treadstone 71 Beacon series on education and intelligence. We're going to talk today on confidence levels and rigor. So let's get started. When we look at confidence levels, we have to look at what definitions are around analytic confidence. Analytic confidence, a book definition, is that it's a rating employed by intelligence analysts to convey doubt to decision makers about a statement of estimative probability. Now, the need for analytic confidence ratings arises from analysts' imperfect knowledge of conceptual models. Now, the conceptual models are most often, based upon fragmented and incomplete data, and that's basically the life of in collection and in analysis. Conceptual models demonstrate that definitely the need for methods of analysis and structured techniques throughout the intelligence lifecycle. An analytic confidence rating pairs with a statement using words of estimative probability to come up with a complete analytic statement. Now, when it comes to Stix and Taxi, you'll find that the way they use confidence is relative to data. And data really doesn't have a confidence level at all. It's a mistake in how it's being used. Data has levels of credibility, levels of validity and reliability, and also levels of relevance based on the party intelligence requirements and the specific information requirements you're going after and your evidence and your findings. So it's a mistake on how it's being used today, but you're going to be beholden to it because the threat intel platforms have to use that as an intake. But know that that's not how it's used in the real world. Confidence levels applied to findings, not to data. Now, if you're in a SOC, and if you're using confidence levels and your intelligence function is actually built in a SOC, war incident response, it's likely that your assessment of confidence does not undergo a great deal of rigor, since you're really spending all of your time on triage and stopping the problem. So if you have a mature intelligence program that utilizes all the methods that we teach at Treadstone 71, then your assessment hopefully will go through a great deal of rigor. You'll use these structured techniques and methods and take them through these processes to make sure that you're looking at the data in a proper way, you're evaluating it the proper way, looking at inductive, deductive, abductive types of analysis and methods to evaluate your data. In most cases, though, we don't measure the amount of types of rigor we undergo during the intelligence life cycle, and we don't use them to help determine our level of confidence in the primary and alternative analysis. Now we look at the Homeland Security's view of high, moderate, and low confidence. They've got their definitions here. High confidence generally indicates that judgments are based on high quality information from multiple sources or from a single highly reliable source, and that the nature of the issue makes it possible to render a solid judgment. You also notice that the United States has 17 different major intelligence agencies working for it. Now there's 4 primary, the CIA, the NSA, and the FBI. And of course there you have the Director of National Intelligence, that is kind of an umbrella over all of these to try and organize, coordinate, and share information amongst the different groups. Still a difficult charge. Regardless, as you look at DHS's definitions for low, moderate, and high confidence, you get an idea on how they define things. Let's take a look at the FBI. FBI looks at it a little bit differently. They get a little more specific in looking at high quality imagery or human intelligence or signals intelligence. Regardless, they use much the same exact language as DHS. As we move on to the National Intelligence Council, there's a little bit different. They actually contextualize it right up front. By stating our assessments and estimates are supported by information that varies in scope, quality, and sourcing. Consequently, they ascribe high, moderate, and low levels of confidence to their assessments as follows. Now you can read these through, but I think the key statement in the low, moderate, and high is the second sentence under high confidence, where it states that a high confidence judgment is not a factor of certainty, however, and such judgments still carry a risk of being wrong. The only way it's going to be right is if you have a bona fides or something tangible that is a bona fides that really lays out exactly who it is or what's behind it. That attribution is key, and it's difficult not only in physical as well as cyber. We've been talking about that for years. Now down below you can see the statement that came from Director of National Intelligence, and the URL down below will take you to the document that I recommend you take a read. But it talks about the influence campaign. The key part is the last sentence where we have high confidence in these judgments. DNI released that 4 out of the 17 agencies, well, only 4 had done their assessment and rolled up this information because they share it. And those 4 were the CIA, the NSA, FBI, and the DNI. And to get a high confidence, it is extremely difficult. You don't give those out unless you are pretty darn sure that you are absolutely correct, that you have bona fides. On the other hand, there still is a risk of being wrong, but it's highly unlikely. Now you're going to use phrases such as we judge, we assess, we estimate. These are standard phrases. You'll read it in the bottom of the document that has referenced here as a link. Such statements are not facts, proof, or knowledge. And these assessments and judgments generally are based on collected information that is incomplete and fragmentary, which is pretty much how it operates. The way you look at it is look at when you go to the store and you buy a puzzle. You already know what the puzzle is going to look like because a picture of the puzzle is on the top of the box. In intelligence, you don't have that picture on the box. Matter of fact, you don't even have all the pieces in the box, but you still need to put the puzzle together. And you're not even sure when you put it together that that's the puzzle that's supposed to be on the top of the box, based on all the denial and deception that you have. That's where your confidence levels really come in to play here, that still carry that risk of being wrong. Now there is what's called the Peterson table of analytic confidence out there. It provides a quantitative method that's really qualitative in its assessment of it. You can take a look at that as well. It's for your primary and alternative analyses. But as I said, it's very difficult to get a high confidence level out of any intelligence agency. It's done very begrudgingly. So again, here's a link as well to the Intelligence Community Directive 203 that you go take a look at that talks about analytic standards. And there's also other analytic standards out there such as 206 and 208 you should take a look at. Intelligence Community Directives, ICDs 203, 6, and 8. In addition, you've got the link down below on the screen here for the DNA assessment of Russian activities in the 2016 election. This is Jeff Barton, Chief Intelligence Officer, Treadstone 71. Thank you for attending the Treadstone 71 Beacon Series on Education and Intelligence. We'll see you next time.